About 10 years ago, I lived in a hot city, but I really wanted to visit the countryside, walk in the woods, and see green trees. I had a little red car and a map. So, one night, I decided to drive into the countryside. I was happy during that summer. One day, while driving in the early morning, my car suddenly stopped because I ran out of fuel. I looked at the map and realized I was lost. Then, I saw a beautiful girl named Mary walking down the road. I got out of my car and asked her for help. She led me to a small, pretty village that wasn't on my map. The people in the village were friendly but had different ways of doing things. They used horses instead of cars, and they cooked their food over a wood fire. I stayed with them for a while, and it was a unique experience. I started to have feelings for Mary, but she seemed sad. She told me I had to leave, and I didn't understand why. I promised to return and left the village late at night. When I tried to find the village again, it had disappeared. I learned that the village only appeared for one day every 10 years and was a mystery to most people. I still love Mary and can't wait to see her again when the village reappears in a couple of months. This time, I won't leave before morning, and we'll be together. As the month went by and the day of the village's return approached, I couldn't stop thinking about Mary and the mysterious village. I wanted to go back to find answers to the questions that bothered me. Finally, the day arrived, and I set off on my journey, feeling both excited and nervous. The road seemed endless, teasing me with the promise of discovery. When I reached the place where the village had appeared before, I was amazed by its beauty. As I entered the village, it felt familiar, and the villagers recognized me warmly. I felt like I belonged there. I wandered through the quaint streets, admiring the old houses and rustic charm. I searched for Mary, hoping to see her again. When we finally met, her face lit up with a smile. She said she knew I would come back, and I couldn't stay away. We spent the day together, cherishing every moment, like the world beyond the village didn't exist. Our love was special, and it seemed to fill the air around us. But as the sun set, we knew our time together was coming to an end. We found comfort in each other's arms, promising eternal love. The villagers gathered in the central square as the village began to glow strangely. I had to say goodbye to Mary, and it was a tearful farewell. I promised to return, and we hoped our love would transcend time. Leaving the village was tough, and I couldn't forget Mary. I returned to the outside world, forever changed by my experience. I was determined to learn more about the village's history and its secrets. I spent years researching, consulting experts, and traveling in search of answers. My resolve grew stronger, and I finally set out on my journey once more. This time, I aimed to uncover the village's mysteries and perhaps find a way to break free from its enchantment. But when I arrived at the spot where the village should have been, it was gone. I refused to give up and continued my quest, determined to find a way back to Mary. The love we shared was too profound to be forgotten. I'm still on this journey, driven by memories of our extraordinary love and the hope of reuniting with Mary. The path ahead may be challenging, but I believe in the power of love and the human spirit. As the years went by, my quest to uncover the secrets of the mysterious village consumed me. I scoured dusty archives, consulted aging historians, and journeyed to remote places around the world, searching for any clues that could lead me to the truth. My research took me through the annals of history, where I unearthed tales of Oliver Cromwell's ruthless campaign against the Royalists during the English Civil War. It was a brutal chapter in England's past, and Cromwell's legacy was one of violence and vengeance. However, within these accounts, I stumbled upon a dark and obscure legend that hinted at the true origin of the village's curse. According to the legend, Oliver Cromwell, in his relentless pursuit of the Royalists, had made a sinister pact with a malevolent entity. In exchange for victory in the war, he had agreed to offer up the souls of the villagers from a small, forgotten hamlet as an innocent sacrifice to satisfy the entity's insatiable hunger. The villagers of that cursed hamlet were wiped from history, but their souls were bound by the vile pact, condemned to wander the realm between the living and the dead, seeking solace and release. The village I had encountered was, in fact, a manifestation of their eternal torment, a prison that materialized once every decade to fulfill the cursed bargain. With this newfound knowledge, I delved deeper into the arcane arts and esoteric rituals, hoping to find a way to break the curse and free the trapped souls. I consulted ancient grimoires and sought the guidance of mystics who claimed to possess knowledge of the supernatural. During one of these journeys into the occult, I discovered a ritual, an ancient, forbidden rite that promised to undo the curse and release the villagers' souls. This ritual required the blood of a direct descendant of Oliver Cromwell, a bloodline that had carried the burden of the curse for generations. To my astonishment, I realized that I was a descendant of the infamous Oliver Cromwell. It seemed that fate had chosen me for a purpose, to right the wrongs of the past and break the curse that had ensnared the village and my beloved Mary. With the knowledge of the ritual and the weight of responsibility on my shoulders, I embarked on a perilous journey to gather the necessary ingredients and perform the ancient rite. It was a dark, moonless night when I returned to the spot where the village had once stood, armed with candles, arcane symbols, and a vial of my own blood. As I began to chant the incantations and draw the symbols in the dirt, a chilling presence descended upon the landscape. The very earth seemed to tremble beneath me, and I could feel the trapped soul's restless yearning for release. Suddenly, a spectral figure, a wraith-like apparition with hollow eyes and a mournful expression, emerged from the shadows. It was Mary, her ethereal form bathed in an eerie, otherworldly light. I could hardly believe my eyes. She confirmed that I had found the way to set them free. With renewed determination, I continued the ritual, pouring my blood onto the soil. The ground pulsed with malevolent energy, and as I recited the final incantation, invoking the spirits to break the curse, the world around me blurred. I felt a searing pain, as if my very soul was being torn. The apparitions of the villagers, trapped in their spectral torment, writhed and wailed in agony. Mary's form began to solidify, becoming more real with each passing moment. It was a moment of triumph and anguish. When the ritual was completed, the curse was shattered, and the malevolent entity's grip loosened. The villagers' tortured cries turned into shouts of liberation, and Mary became more real and tangible. Overwhelmed, I fell to the ground, drained and gasping for breath. We had done it, the curse was broken. Mary rushed into my arms, and we embraced, tears of joy streaming down our faces as the village reappeared, more vibrant and alive than ever. The villagers, now free from their spectral prison, celebrated with us. However, our victory came at a cost. I could feel the ancient power coursing through my veins, the weight of the curse transferred onto me. Mary and I, bound by a love that had transcended time and death, decided to make a life together in the village. We married amidst the celebrations, and our bond grew stronger. We were blessed with children, two beautiful souls who carried the bloodline of Oliver Cromwell. As the years passed, the village thrived, no longer cursed by its malevolent past. Our children's laughter and innocence brought solace to our weary souls. It seemed that we had finally found peace and happiness. However, as our children reached a certain age, strange occurrences began to unfold. They exhibited unusual talents and gifts that defied explanation. Objects moved on their own, and whispers of voices from the beyond filled the night air. The villagers, once celebratory of our family's role in breaking the curse, began to regard us with fear and suspicion. One fateful evening, as a full moon cast an eerie glow over the village, our children's powers manifested in a way that sent shivers down our spines. They stood in the center of the village square, their eyes aglow with an otherworldly light, and began to chant in a language neither Mary nor I could understand. The earth trembled, and the very air seemed to vibrate with malevolent energy. Shadows danced around them, forming grotesque shapes in the moonlight. The villagers watched in terror, their faces contorted with fear. I approached our children, desperate to stop them. I implored them to cease their actions, explaining that they didn't know what they were doing. Still, they continued, their voices growing louder and more powerful. As they chanted, the ground beneath them erupted in a burst of dark energy. From the depths of the earth, a monstrous entity emerged, an ancient evil awakened by our children's unwitting invocation. The villagers screamed and fled, seeing our once beloved family as the bringers of calamity. Mary and I stood helpless, watching as the malevolent entity's malevolent gaze turned upon us. The entity hissed that our bloodline may have broken one curse but awakened another. Then, as quickly as it had appeared, the entity vanished into the night, leaving us in a state of shock and dread. Our children collapsed, their powers expanding. We rushed to their side, holding them close. In the days that turned into weeks, we grappled with the dark truth that our family was now entangled in a new curse, one that we had unwittingly unleashed. The village, once our sanctuary, had turned against us, and the fear in the eyes of our fellow villagers was a constant reminder of the danger we posed. We vowed to find a way to undo the curse once more, to protect our children from the malevolent entity's grasp. Our journey for answers began anew, this time with a deeper sense of urgency and responsibility. Our story continues, filled with mystery, magic, and the relentless pursuit of redemption. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: we will face whatever challenges lie ahead as a family. Our unbreakable bond and unwavering determination will guide us through the shadowy world we navigate. Love remains our guiding light.